Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter books was an absolute chess prodigy, and I think he could have gone on to be a Grandmaster. In this video, we're going to look at some of the absolute baller moves he plays in the climactic scene of the Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone chess scene, and we'll also share some interesting insights on how that scene actually got made to be a legitimate, cool chess scene in a mainstream movie. Let's jump in. So if you're unfamiliar with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or the thousands of memes that have been made about this scene in particular, Harry, Ron and Hermione must win this game of wizard's chess in order to progress and stop evil forces from grabbing the Philosopher's Stone, the titular Philosopher's Stone. And as soon as our characters arrive at the chessboard, they twig that this is what needs to happen. They need to win this game of chess. And playing for a win as Black, not that easy. And our boy Ron steps up in a big time way. So the first thing, he has his head switched on not only to the game, but also to the metagame, the whole situation that's going on and surrounding them. So firstly, Hermione asks, do you think this is going to be like wizard's chess? And it's established earlier in the movie that wizard's chess is chess where the pieces violently destroy each other anytime a capture happens. So straight off, white plays e4. A tough move to face when you're trying to play for a win. But Ron, like a light, says d5. I'm going to jump right into a Scandinavian defense. Not my favorite opening, but this fella, he needs to prove this is going to be like wizard's chess. Takes 2 seconds and realizes the Scandy's a good way to do that, because either they're going to take or will get some sort of advantage. So he proves it without giving up any advantage immediately, and they do find out it is going to be exactly like wizard's chess when his pawn gets completely obliterated. Now the rest of the game is chopped up into a montage, but we do see a final position, and that is this position here, which is an absolutely beautiful sort of miniature game. And what Ron does next is scintillating stuff. So just taking a quick stock take of our intrepid heroes, we have Hermione playing as the rook back there on f8, we have Harry as the fairly precariously positioned bishop here on a3, and then we have our hero Ron as the cavalier knight there on g5. And as we saw in the montage leading up to this position, the white queen, though she's back here on her starting square, has been eating it up no crummies and has captured about 6 or 7 pieces and pawns throughout the rest of the montage. So she's the villain of the piece, and they very much wanted that to come across in the movie. Now what Ron does here is he starts things off, it's white's move, and white starts things off. This villainous white queen, she captures here on d3 and stares right down our hero Harry. And what Ron does next is just a great situational awareness. Not only does he see Black is winning by miles here as well. They have an absolutely gorgeous bishop here. Rooks firing down some open files. A knight that is not being contested in the center of the board. They are winning here, and Ron knows it well. But what he does also know is that Harry has to survive this. Harry has to go through. It's not me, not Hermione, you. So Harry has to get through this, and he is under some grave pressure here. So he starts off this tremendous combination, and he sacrifices the rook. He gets the rook in between the queen and Harry. A bit of interference there, as we might say, blocks the connection there. So Harry is safe for the time being. The queen takes the bait, of course, captures this rook and gets even closer, and some of the shrapnel from the rook when she destroys it flies onto Harry, and things are looking pretty grim for our intrepid heroes until Ron uncorks an absolute ripper, a brilliancy in my opinion. I don't care what the computer says. So the whole point of the rook sacrifice wasn't just to interfere between the queen and Harry, it was actually to open up this square for the bishop, this checking square on the king. But then Ron uncorks this wonderful move, because there is actually a faster mate than the one that happens in the movie, but it involves sacrificing the bishop. So that checkmate is bishop back here, queen takes, and that frees up Ron the knight to jump in here and deliver this checkmate on the king. Happy days, but actually not, because Harry has to be the one to go on. So that doesn't actually work, and Ron factors this in. At 11 years old, his first year in boarding school, it's up to him to stop the rise of fascism, and he has the cold, calculated clarity to bring a slightly longer mating combination where he sacrifices himself first, and he delivers the check, and this is where he gets absolutely murked, and the queen rushes over, destroys the horse upon which he strides, and is cast into a little ditch beside the rest of the pieces. Hermione nearly runs to his aid, which of course would have been an illegal move and a disqualification right away. And then what happens next is Harry jumps on back here to c5, delivers a check, And in the movie, they actually just say checkmate there. They just stop the game because of like movie mumbo jumbo, and you actually just need to like keep the movie rolling. Which brings me on to how this scene actually got made, and it was involving an international master called Jeremy Silman, who is one of the foremost writers of chess books. He writes these amazing books, Reassess Your Chess, The Amateur's Mind, all very accessible, very clearly written books about how to get better at chess. But he was involved in actually designing this scene, and the directors of the scene wanted it to have a lot of captures, wanted it to have, again, this kind of villain of the piece. And he contests that they actually cut this a little short because there would have been a very satisfying moment where the queen, this villain, comes back and stares at Harry menacingly, but Harry has to have the gall to back himself and capture that queen and deliver checkmate, which Jeremy Silman attests would have been a much more satisfying moment than Harry just like walking up to the king and then delivering checkmate that actually wasn't checkmate. However, that's a little bit of an aside. I do agree with Jeremy Silman that having Harry, like, I don't know, kick over the big stone statue that was playing the queen would have been a really satisfying moment. But an absolute corker of a game, and again, our absolute king, Ron Weasley, not only played an incredible game of chess that Dumbledore acknowledges, but he plays an incredible game of meta chess where he knows certain circumstances, like, do we need to prove it's a wizard's chess? Harry needs to be the one to go on. So factoring this in, playing with these shackles, plays a beautiful Scandi defense and ends up winning a cracking game of chess. He could have been a Grandmaster in my eyes, but he went down the route of an Auror, which, again, those skills will serve him in good stead. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. That was a rip-roaring scene from the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone game. It's a great representation of chess in the mainstream. Doesn't always happen like that. If you did enjoy this and want to stick around for more chess content, feel free to subscribe, comment on any other movie chess scenes you want me to check out. But otherwise, have a great day and enjoy your chess. Cheers.